What's going on, you bunch of heretics? Grab your paint pots, grab your recaf, and let's get some paint on that ever-growing pile of potential. It's here. The Heresy is my therapy SLAPCHOP tutorials. It is the video that many of you have been asking for. Lt Titus has made his way to the paint station, courtesy of a good friend of mine, Jack, for managing to get hold of Lt Titus for me, and I cannot thank him enough. Space Marine 2 has been an incredible game, arguably one of the best games of the year, but somehow I didn't win an award for it. That's a separate conversation for another day. Anyway, we're here to talk about Lt Titus, the hero that has captured many of our hearts, and he is getting the SLAPCHOP treatment today. As always, everything you need will be in the video description below. So without further ado, Lt Titus, let's get him done. Right, here we are, Lt Titus, primed with Chaos Black, ready to go, and he looks great, ready to bring him to life in the colours of the Ultramarines. We of course have got our wet palette, we've got our paint pot, our Lamian medium, our array of brushes, and of course some kitchen paper as well. Let's do it. Okay, first up, we're going to get our Administratum Grey. Guys, you know the routine with this, same thing as always, Administratum Grey. We're going to get it on our dry brush, and we're going to take it all off as much as possible with our kitchen roll. And all we're going to do is just small circles all over the model. Remember, it's better to start off light than it is dark. It's better to start off lighter amount than a heavy amount. Okay, so just make sure that we just build this up. 2 layers, all you're really gonna need, and again we're absolutely everywhere on this model in all the shadows, so use a variation of dry brushes, and we're getting absolutely everywhere with this. As you can see, a bit more of a smaller dry brush, small circles all over the model. Remember, like I say, a couple layers, 2 layers, and then we're going to get a clean dry brush, and we're just going to take off all that dusty excess paint. As you can see, I've done a few good layers there, ready to get in for the next one. Ultramarine Grey is our next colour of choice. You know the routine here, guys. Same again, shake it up, plenty on the paintbrush, take it all off on our piece of kitchen paper. And all we're going to do, down the model, and we're just going to pick out those areas where the light is going to really touch the model. Okay, so we're not going inside any of the crevices, we're just going where the light would shine. Alright, if you need to at the start of the painting, just place them underneath the light and just kind of look where the light is projecting on old Titus here. And same again, just a clean dry brush and get rid of that dusty paint. And finally, we're going to use our white scar. Exactly the same again, guys. Exactly the same again. Plenty on the brush. Take it all off and just pick out those areas where the light is now shining on the model. Again, make it as light or as dark as you want to. But again, really pick out those areas where the light's coming down. So on the top of his head, the top of the chest plates, the weapon system, just, you know, all those areas where the light's touching the model is where you're going to go. And again, you only really need the 1 layer on this, maybe 2 if you want to. All depends on how light you want to make that highlight with the white. And then of course, same again, just get our clean dry brush and just take off all that excess paint. As you can see, a little bit of dust in the bottom there, we want to get rid of that. Alright, and that's him good to go, ready for his first layer. Okay, Pilar Glacier. Pilar Glacier is the colour of choice. Again, just like we did for some of the other previous Ultramarine models, we're going to apply this Pilar Glacier as our initial base sort of layer. And it's just a couple of layers of this, just all over the area of the armor work. Okay, so just to really kind of give it a nice, just a touch of blue hue underneath the next layer of paint. So like I say, 2 layers of this is all you're really going to need, no more than that. Yep, 2 layers all over the areas that you would expect it to be for the ultramarine colour. Just take your time with it, there's no rush, just slowly build up the two thin coats over the model. Alright. Once that's dry, we're going to get our Pterodon turquoise, and all this is really going to do is just going to go over the weapon system, so the bolt pistol, heavy bolt pistol, and his chainsword. Okay, and again we're mixing up Pterodon turquoise with Lamium medium, bit of 50-50 mix here. It's almost like a bit of a wash really that we're going to apply. Like I say, just onto the chainsword. Just one coat really is all you need. Smooth the paint around, make sure it doesn't pool anywhere, and then of course on top of the bolt pistol as well. They're your 2 main areas because we're going to apply some black later on. Okay, next up we're going to get our magma draft flame, and all this is going to do is just basically the areas that we're going to have in red is going to be our base preset colour for that. So again, onto the palette, and a little bit of Lamium medium on there. Again, 2:1 of paint to Lamium as we go on here. So we just got our purity seals is where we're going to go. Onto the sort of crest of the pauldron. And onto the kind of handle work of the chainsword. And any other markings as well that you want to do that for. Okay, next up we're going to use our ultramarine blue contrast. Okay, again we're going to thin this down, 2:1 of paint to Lamium. Okay, and we're going to keep doing this a fair bit because you're going to do probably two to 3 thin coats of this mix all over the area that we've applied the Pilar Glacier to. Alright, it's quite a longer process this one, but again, just take your time with it, move the paint around, and don't let it pool. Like I say, all the areas that we've applied that Pilar Glacier, we're just going to add this Ultramarines blue to it. It's a really nice way that it comes out, as long as you've got a good base on. Again, you just want to do 2 thin coats of this is all you're going to need. 3 if you want to make it darker in areas. Alright, with 2 thin coats of this mix, and eventually you'll get this classic blue ultramarine colouring. He's there. Oh, a little bit higher there, down. There we go. And you can sit nicely. 2 thin coats. Next up, we're going to get our Apothecary White, and we're going to use this straight from the pot and onto his, what do you even call that? What it's called? Like his front and rear hip cloak? Hip cloak? Is that about right? You know what I'm on about. A little bit on the skull, on the side right hand pauldron, as he's wearing it, left hand as you're looking at it. And again, and on the back as well. Just that bit of that Apothecary White. It's actually not a bad colour to use. It dries lighter than you might think, in all fairness to it. So just like I say, touch that up there, and you're good to go. Next we're going to get our skeleton horde, and all this is really going to do is just cover all the leather work. So we're going straight from pot, palette, and then all the leather work, so the holster, the belt, and his sort of like webbing patches, his webbing pouches, that's where you're going to go with that. No real change from what we do with our leatherwork, guys. If you've seen the previous videos before, you know the routine we're going to use for this. But like I say, just all that leatherwork, belt, all that jazz. It's going to get the skeleton horde treatment, because you know we're going to use Cygor brown and Gorgrinter fur for it. Next up, we got our Blood Angels red, and all we're going to do is apply this onto the areas that we've applied our Magma Draw Flame to. So again, just a little bit in that previous mix. Just a dab of Lamia medium, and all we're going to do, like a bit of a glaze, is just over those areas that we've applied that previous colour to. So just on those purity seals, that's the word I was looking for, purity seals. And on that side sort of banner markings. And of course back on the handle, just as we have done before. Hopefully you guys get a bit of a common theme of how we're doing stuff on this channel. Yep, Gorgrinter fur, you know the routine with this guys, Gorgrinter fur, thin it down, 2-to-1, mix of paint and Lamia medium, and all we're going to do, like a bit of a glaze, like a bit of a wash, just over that leather work that we did before. We're also going to add some in his hair. So again, 2 thin coats of this, just to give him a nice set of brown hair, and then start working your way through all the leather stuff that we're going to be doing. So like I say, holster, belt, webbing pouches, and all that jazz. 2 thin coats, as always, is all you're going to need for this. No more, no less. 2 thin coats. 2 thin coats? Definitely not 2 thin goats. 2 thin coats, guys. Okay, Black Legion is the next in our colour of choice, and again, we just got to make sure that we do thin our Black Legion, guys. Remember, probably a 50-50 mix with this. It's a very heavy colour, it's Black Legion. Okay, so you don't want to, it's better to be a lot lighter than heavier with Black Legion. I'd probably go a good 50-50 mix of this. Okay, 50-50 mix. And all we're doing, we're just going over the chainsword and the casings of the weapon system, that bolt pistol, and then we're just going to go into the joints of between the armor as well. Alright, so just between the armor joints, we're going to place that Black Legion in there. Alright, and there you go, guys. So between the joints, just finish it off as well. Cygor brown, you know what I'm going to say, heavy colour, thin it right down, 50-50, and almost apply like a wash over that leather work. You know the routine with the channel, guys, that's how we do our leather on this. Over the hair as well, over the hair and over the leather work, just nice and easy, don't let it pool, move the paint around, and jobs of fish. Alright, guys. Just take your time with it, no rush, just take your time. And there he is. Okay, Xandria dust, it's not the part you think it is just yet, but all we're going to do is on those purity seals and the banner on his arm, we're just going to apply 2 thin coats of Xandria dust on those areas. So 2 thin coats of Xandria dust, just on those areas, so we get a nice sort of effect for those parts of the model. Loads of purity seals, all Sandry dusted up. And that banner as well. But again, 2 thin coats of this, it's all you need. Gilliman flesh. Again, this is just going to go nicely into those purity seals in that banner. It just gives it a bit of a grime look to it. You know, instead of being like really unnecessarily clean, they'll just sit in the recesses and do its bit. Just kind of give it a bit of a worn and a regal look. Worn and regal? Yeah, worn and regal look about it. Alright. No need to thin this down really. Just going for the palette. It's quite a thin wash anyway. Right, Sandry dust. Guys, you know what I'm going to say, because I say it every single time on the channel. We're going to get plenty on our dry brush. Either probably, you know, a medium dry brush or a small dry brush, whatever you've got. And just, we're going to feather dust it all over the model. You know the routine. Feather dusting all over the model, guys. Nothing wild, nothing strenuous. Nice and simple, all over the model. Feather dust it, just to get that nice, just so it takes away some of the blotchiness that SLAPCHOP provides. Okay, so we're just gently over the model. Alright. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. But again, just, you know, just gentle dry brushing absolutely everywhere. And there we go. Right, Retributor armor. Again, 2 thin coats, Retributor armor. This is going to go in quite a few different places. But again, it's 2 thin coats of this. And again, your wet palette will break it down nicely. So we've got the crest on this chest plate. Again, just take your time with it, placing it on. I know it's not the usual SLAPCHOP yellow that we do. We're actually going to use some actual gold. But again, we're just going on the crest, nice and simple. The kind of artifacts that he carries with him, and of course on the crest of the belt as well. It's going to go in there. Don't forget, guys, when you're doing this, on the holster as well, when you're using these sort of paints, these layering paints, don't forget, every sort of like 15 to 20 seconds, just add a little bit of water. Just rinse the brush off and start again. Yeah, the side of the pauldron is the classic, you know, blue and gold look of the Ultramarines. Back of the pack. Yeah, and of course we're going to add a bit of a gold line at the bottom as well on the front and rear cloth. Just take your time with it. 2 thin coats is all you're going to need for this. Alright, just 2 thin coats. And next we've got our liquid talent, our Agrax Earth Shade. And basically all we're going to do is everywhere we've applied the gold to, we're just going to apply a quick layer of Agrax Earth Shade. Nice and simple. All over the model. All over those areas we've applied the Retributor armor to. Okay? Nice and simple, nothing wild, but just letting that liquid talent do its job. Okay, Iron Warriors. So Iron Warriors again, just like we did with the Retributor armor, again just onto our palette, and all we're going to do is just on the metalwork of the weapon system, elements of the chainsword and back of the pack, is where we're going to go with our Iron Warriors. So as you can see there, on the magazine housing, Titus's chain that he has on his arm, the classic chain on his arm, making Titus rather iconic, isn't he? Oh, he's a great model, this guy. Great on the game. And then same on the back of the power pack as well. And again, we're just going to go with 2 thin coats of Iron Warriors. Yeah, we don't need to like go mental with it, just 2 thin coats. Again, you know, around the back of the power pack, around the vents at the rear. And then of course on the mechanics casings, on the actual power sword? No, not power sword, in any way, shape or form, chain sword. And then of course, grab yourself some more on the teeth. And it all comes together nicely. And again, Null Oil, liquid talent. So, goes about saying, but I'll say it anyway, all the areas we've applied Iron Warriors to, you guessed it, we are going to apply the Null Oil to. Too easy. Literally, too easy. Again, all you need is just the one on there. One layer of it, just to really allow it to do its job of kind of breaking up a little bit and making it really pop. And there he is. Easy as that, guys. Next we're going to get our Cadian flesh tone, and again guys, you know the routine here on Heretics is my therapy. We're going Cadian flesh tone, we're going Guilliman flesh, Agrax Earthshade, and then of course, well, we'll get to that part in a minute, won't we? Okay, so 2 thin coats again on the face is what we're going to be doing here, guys. Again, just a, a medium layer brush. I'm using the Cryptic Cabin 3. Really great brush for this, actually, in all fairness. But again, just 2 thin coats is all you're going to need of Cadian flesh tone. Okay, now we're going to get our Stormhost Silver, and all we're going to do is apply a very, very, very light dry brush over all of the areas that we've applied metal paint to. So all over the Retributor armor and all over the Iron Warriors, we're just going to very, very gently, with our dry brush, just place on that Stormhost Silver. And again, just delicately brush this on, really to the areas that are going to get hit by the light. So just all around the tops, all around those areas where the light is going to shine down. Okay, and there you are, easy as that. Guilliman flesh is next, and same again guys, you know the routine that we do with this. We're just going to place that Guilliman flesh just into the face, just to keep it tabletop ready, nothing too wild. We're not winning any Golden Demon here, troops. Alright, but we'll just let that Guilliman flesh do its job, because it's a really nice job of just breaking up the skin on the face and just creating a nice face effect for your models. And again, just move the paint around and let it pool and let it dry nicely. Once that's dried, Agrax Earthshade, and all that's going to do, as we have done regularly, is actually going to just place that just to hood the eyes a little bit. Okay, just to hood the eyes. Just in the eyes, bridge of the nose. Job's a fish, troops. And then obviously finally we got our Kislev flesh, and so all we're going to do is just get the tops of the nose and just round round the forehead, tops of the cheeks, around the eyebrows. Again, just nice and thin layered, nothing too wild, just keep it slowly built up. This is the Artis Opus 1 from the Series S range that I'm using for this here. Again, just nice and easy, control the paint. Remember, keep the brush damp, and just gently with that Kislev flesh over the model. Base time. Right, and there he is, Lt Titus, good to go, ready to join and lead his brothers on the battlefield. Again, I'm just throwing on a simple basing, and you can go whatever theme that you're going with. But there he is, longly awaited, Titus done. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you found it useful, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for plenty more videos to come. Anyway guys, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.